You know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was.
If someone defeated Canelo Alvarez in the biggest match and earned the largest payday of their career, most fighters would celebrate for months, then spend on luxury homes, boats, and a long vacation. Terence Crawford is different from most boxers, though, because at 38 in age, when many start thinking about retirement or easy paydays, he is already chasing another challenge, and his next target has surprised the entire boxing scene. Instead of calling out a famous name for a big check, he has set his sights on a dangerous opponent who fights at 160 pounds, and many believe this fighter may even be more skilled than Canelo. The situation started with what was called a slip that people across boxing doubt was truly accidental.
Terence Crawford, if you don't know, at the WBO convention out there at Bogota, Colombia.
I'm here in Bogota, Colombia, celebrating the WBO's 38-year.
Put a pin in that. The WBO convention. Who's the middleweight WBO champion? Janibek. Let me just stop you guys from even thinking about it. Janibek is the unified WBO and IBF champion. Now, Terence Crawford is at the damn convention.
Terence Crawford was in Bogota, attending the 2025 meeting held by the World Boxing Organization not long after his win over Canelo Alvarez. And like many public figures, he recorded the moment and shared it on Instagram. As he panned his phone across a large digital display showing champions during their fights, his own image appeared first, highlighting him as the undefeated super middleweight title holder. The screen then shifted briefly to another winner for only a moment, showing Canelo listed as the WBO and IBF welterweight champion, and Crawford quickly moved the camera away as if he had revealed something he did not intend to show.
Slipped up, bull jobbing, and leaked some shit. Listen, I was born at night, not last night. Terence Crawford, for you to film that by accident, just try to show your face, and then Janibek show you try to turn quick, brother, you blew it. Link.
The switch happened so fast, it almost looked humorous, and the footage seemed odd, which immediately set the internet buzzing. Viewers and boxing analysts all started asking the same question: did Terence Crawford just reveal his next plan without meaning to? People doubted it was a simple slip because it felt too precise, too unusual, and too deliberate. If that moment was the hint, then the real surprise came only hours later when another clip appeared that looked clearly intentional. In it, Crawford stood with his hand lifted, staring straight into the lens, no longer joking, but focused and serious while filming. A voice beside him called out to Janibek Alimkhanuly, saying they were looking for him and asking about the 6th of December and what his response would be. Then Crawford leaned toward the camera, eyes locked forward, and spoke the line that confirmed what many had already begun to suspect.
We're here next, looking for you. Looking for December 6th, how you gonna do it?
I got my eyes on you, Janibek. Good luck.
It was a direct message to the public, and once Terence Crawford sent it out, his target answered almost instantly. Like many expected, Janibek Alimkhanuly kept his response short and cold by reposting the clip on social media with the caption, "No problem." Soon after, he shared another post showing an image with the words, "Thank you, bro." At that point, the matchup was no longer just talk, because the spark had clearly been lit.
Terence Crawford accidentally leaked him versus Janibek. Now, we all know that Janibek has a fight coming up, I think in December against Lara. That's a hard fight. And that is going to be for unification because Lara is the WBA champion. So you got the WBO title, IBF title, and the WBA title all on the damn line. I'm pretty sure Terence Crawford, with this leak, is looking forward to fighting the winner. And I think the WBO is leaning towards Janibek because that's their champion. It all makes sense to me. I think I got Lara winning that fight. But if he doesn't, I get it. Janibek, he's a tough cookie, undefeated, right? The Southpaw. I think they both Southpaws. Well, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. But Terence Crawford in line to fight them. You know he fights once a year, all right? So he's going to let them hash it out in December, and he's going to go ahead and fight 2026. It's leaked. It's leaked.
So who is the man that the pound-for-pound king has now set his sights on? Casual fans may not recognize Janibek Alimkhanuly because he is not a pay-per-view attraction or a household name like Canelo Alvarez or Errol Spence Jr. Known as Kazakh Style, he has built a reputation as one of the most avoided fighters in the sport, though dedicated boxing followers understand exactly how dangerous he is.
After news, hold up, boxing fans. The middleweight division just got spicy. Janibek Alimkhanuly, the IBF and WBO champ, is calling out Terence Crawford. Yeah, you heard that right. Crawford's fresh off his win against Canelo, but Janibek's not impressed. He's ready to rumble if Crawford drops to 160. But here's the tea. Experts are saying this might be Crawford's toughest fight yet. Janibek's young, he's hungry, and he hits like a truck. Crawford's got options, but they're all...
He is a dangerous southpaw from Kazakhstan with a perfect record of 17 victories, no defeats, and 12 of those wins coming by knockout. Janibek Alimkhanuly holds both the WBO and IBF middleweight titles, and he does more than just win fights. He systematically breaks his opponents down. On boxing forums and among analysts, one word is often used to describe him: monster.
Some Crawford, man, y'all already know what time it is, but hey, I gotta call a spade a damn spade. Janibek ain't nothing to mess with. He cold. Yeah, southpaw, you don't know much about him. That's fine. You ain't got to know much about him, but I'm here to tell you. Speed, power, size, your IQ, defense, offense. Dude is cold, man. Footwork, angles, shoot, power in both hands. He a killer. That's what he is. He a damn killer, man, you know? So, I mean, look, if Crawford can go down and face that dude, bro, man, whoo, Crawford's legacy. Now, it might not be no marquee name and a name that the whole world will know, but everybody will be tuning in just to see Terence Crawford's greatness because he's a mega star now. He's the star.
Do not misunderstand Janibek Alimkhanuly because he is not afraid. He is undefeated and confident and believes he controls his division. He even sent a message telling Terence Crawford to wait his turn and said he plans to beat Erislandy Lara and collect every title before facing him. This is not a money chase or an easy fight. Many people wondered why Crawford would target such a dangerous and lesser-known threat. The strategy becomes clear when you look at the date he mentioned, which is December 6th. On that night, Janibek will face Lara for the World Boxing Association middleweight belt. The winner will hold 3 major titles, which explains the real reason behind the challenge.
Is going for 4-time undisputed. That is diabolical. That is unheard. 3-time undisputed is ridiculous, okay, for the men. But 4-time undisputed is just damn unheard of. The closest thing to that, and I'm talking about 4-time undisputed in 4 different weight classes. The closest thing to that would have to be, I would think, Manny Pacquiao being lineal champion in 5 divisions. And lineal and undisputed is kind of the same thing. I mean, as far as undisputed is collected, lineal is the man who beat the man who, many times if you're undisputed, you beat the man, right? So, okay, how about this? Terence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez, he beat the lineal champion who happens to be undisputed. The difference is when you collect all the titles, right? Like he did at 140. When you're collecting the titles, that's a bit different because now you're not just fighting the lineal champion, but you're fighting the top guys. Terence Bud Crawford doing that is honestly more diabolical than even Manny Pacquiao.
The strategy from Terence Crawford is now clear because he plans to let Janibek Alimkhanuly and Erislandy Lara battle first, and then challenge whoever wins so he can take all 3 titles in one shot. After that, only Carlos Adams would remain as champion from the World Boxing Council. Crawford is not aiming to grab just another belt because his goal is to become the first fighter ever to stay unbeaten while ruling 4 divisions and secure a legacy that can never be questioned and will stand forever.
To go 168, meaning that this guy I think he beats the winner between Lara and Janibek, and the next champion, the WBC champion, is Carlos Adames. And I think the toughest bout for Bud Crawford would be the winner between Lara and Janibek. He fights Carlos Adames. To me, I think that's an easier, no disrespect to Carlos Adames, but I think that's an easier win for.
Even though the idea is smart, it also sounds a bit wild, and boxing insiders are already sounding alarms because this is far from a guaranteed victory. Some analysts even believe it could turn into a trap. Well-known trainer Andre Rozier, who has coached numerous champions, was asked about the potential clash, and he did not hold back. he warned that Janibek Alimkhanuly would be a much tougher challenge for Terence Crawford than Canelo Alvarez was, and urged people to really think about that.
See any of those guys, maybe particularly Janibek, because he had 3 belts, do you see him as a real threat to Terence Crawford?
Janibek is a tough guy, but he doesn't fight enough. He's not fighting enough. You gotta earn those skills. I love how he fights. He's big. He's strong. He's precise. And I think he might be going to 168. So with all of that being said, hey, listen, we got some things on the table that could really pan out to be fantastic fights.
Do you think that Janibek would be Crawford's toughest fight? Like tougher than Canelo, tougher than a few of those other guys?
I believe he honestly could be, and I think that he is big, strong, and poised, and that's going to be a problem.
People are now warning Terence Crawford, the same man who stunned the sport by defeating a star from higher weight divisions, that his next opponent could be an even harder test. Trainer Andre Rozier said Janibek Alimkhanuly would present serious trouble because he is a true 160-pound fighter performing at his peak, and his sharp, powerful southpaw approach can cause major problems for anyone. This is not a victory tour for Crawford, and it may be the boldest gamble of his career, a genuine high-risk matchup against a feared opponent many others have avoided. The question is, why take such a chance in a fight that may not bring massive pay-per-view money when he is undefeated, considered the top pound-for-pound fighter, and already owns a flawless legacy? The explanation comes from Crawford's own perspective, since he has said he often felt overlooked and undervalued throughout his career.
You're going to get my full respect until afterwards. Yes, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. We really didn't realize it until now, when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, and the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, so I just think, when you that much better than the competition, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man.
Critics often claim that when Terence Crawford wins, people dismiss his opponents as unimportant, and that talk did not stop even after he defeated Canelo Alvarez with authority, as some still tried to downplay the result and act like the victory did not prove anything.
Look at it, it's still excuses. Like I said before the fight, every one of my biggest fights, I say, I'm gonna be prepared for the excuses. When you so great and you so much ahead of your competition, they look at the fighters that you fight and say they nobodies because how much you beat them by, or the level of skills that you oppose against them. So when I fight this guy, it's all he was a nobody. When I fight this guy, all he was washed. When I fight this guy, it's an excuse, So who you want me to fight? I beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, he's too young or whatever. So
this next decision is meant to silence every critic once and for all, because Terence Crawford is choosing a fight that is not about money, but about making such a powerful statement that no one will ever question his greatness again. By moving up a division to face the most feared and avoided fighter at 160, Terence Crawford is putting himself in position to improve his legacy and claim a 4th championship, which would make his record even harder for anyone to surpass. And now the stage is fully set.
Or do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
You know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Train camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge if you want to challenge yourself. Yeah, I don't mind.
The entire strategy from Terence Crawford is now visible to the public because he is chasing a legacy that cannot be questioned for any reason. By challenging Janibek Alimkhanuly, he has chosen to step straight into danger against one of the sport's most threatening southpaws and has set everything in motion for what comes next. The only question now is whether this bold move will pay off or put him in serious trouble.
Last question. If Crawford was to go down there, beat Janibek, beat Carlos Adames, become an unprecedented 4th division undisputed champion, where exactly would that put him in history?
Right up there with the very best. Honestly, right up there.
That wraps up today's episode. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next video. Also, drop a comment to share your thoughts. And we will catch you in the next show, so stay tuned.